Talk Backfield, where I'm taking you back to the field. And on this week's podcast, we have Mr. Paul Gaffney, the man who is on the board and trustees here at TWU, the man who used to play basketball at TWU, the man who is a Harlem Globetrotter, and the man who wants to start charter schools in East Tennessee. But most importantly, he's the father of Evan Gaffney, who's here and also plays basketball for TWU. So we see the apple doesn't fall, far from the tree.
Well, we hope not anyway.
Yes, but welcome to the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
How are you today?
I'm great.
Are you enjoying this cold weather?
I'm enjoying it. I mean, it could get worse,
Mhm.
but I'm really proud to be at the show because for someone like you that is stepping out and a former athlete and doing great things like this is very much an honor for me.
Thank you. So speaking of athletes, you used to be an athlete here at
Right.
TWU, but I believe at the time, was it called TWC?
It is called TWC at the time. It was a college at that moment.
Yes. So what year did you play, if you don't mind
No, it's not a problem.
telling everyone?
I came here from 87 to 90. I left University of Kentucky. They had a coaching change. Eddie Sutton came when Joe B. Hall was there. So during my freshman year, I came and got here. What's funny about the whole situation of me even coming here, I'm from Kentucky. I'm
Okay.
from a small town in Kentucky. And Dwayne Farmer, the former coach, the legend, came up there to recruit my cousin that was 2 years older than me, and my best friend that was a year older than me, and we were all real like brothers, close friends. And I just happened to be sitting at the table, and that time I was a sophomore, but I was a Street Smith All-American.
Okay.
During that time it wasn't the top ESPN 100. You had to go read about where you were at that time. So anyway, he came and he was recruiting them, and he just stopped and he looked and he said, "You coming to Athens?" And I said, "Athens, Georgia."
Right.
What are you? And I said, "Okay." I said, "All right, fine." And I just left it alone at that point, and then so happened situations, everything happened. I ended up here in Athens, Tennessee at
Okay.
TWC.
Yes, I was fortunate enough to make it to TW when it was TWC, and then
Okay.
we experienced the change. So I got a little bit of both worlds.
So you got a little
I
old
guess.
school and new school in
Yeah,
you.
a
Okay,
good little
okay,
mixture.
okay.
So when you were playing basketball, what position did you play, and how was basketball back at that time different from now?
Oh my goodness. I played guard.
Okay.
I played point guard. Actually, I was a swingman. I played 1, 2, 3, and some 4.
So you a shooter?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I used to do a little bit of everything. Basketball from then to now, it's more. It's not as physical. It's very finesse driven. It's a lot of things that they do that wouldn't have been able to happen during my time without coming up with little bumps or bruises. Not that it was just all dirty, but it was you just didn't do certain things at that time. I can hand check you a little bit. I can, and it was more defense oriented than it is now. So now everybody just want to shoot threes.
Yes.
So
They do.
and it's just a different situation. But if you look at the game and see how if you got a mid range game, a serious little post game, they always a little bit better. They always get a little bit extra points because I can hit that mid range game. I don't rely on the three as much. Yes, you still can shoot the three, and it has opened up the game a lot. It has done made the game a little more exciting, closer in some things. But if you have a different that mid range, still can play D, you get yourself on the court.
Okay. So how did you become a Harlem Globetrotter?
Oh my God!
From Athens, Tennessee
from
to
a-
a Harlem Globetrotter.
Well, my agent when I left school, I had an agent, and he was in Houston. So I went to Houston. I tell everybody that when I went to Houston, my agent brought me, and my wife kept me there. So, so we was there for about 25 years. But during the time when I first left here, we used to play in this place called Fondue Rec Center,
Okay.
where like guys that were going pro, guys that like Akeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, Kenny Smith. I mean, just guys, Penny Hardaway. Everybody came down
Memphis.
to Memphis. Memphis was highly in respect in Houston. So like a lot of guys used to come there for summer league and stuff. So you had agents and you had people there always there. I hurt my ankle. I was going to Seattle Supersonics as a free agent. Hurt my ankle. I was off about a year almost. But during the time, I met some Globetrotter guys that was playing in the summer league playing, and we became friends and things of that nature. And the coach seen me play. He said, I like your personality. I like how you play. Won't you come out training camp? And then if you don't like it, whatever, then you can go somewhere else. So, excuse me. Went to the training camp. It was a lot different than what I thought. Because, you think the perception is the Globetrotters, you just spin the ball on your finger and, you throw a fancy pass, you okay. No, I didn't see the ball for like a week and a half. We were on the track, we were training. When we played basketball. Yeah. You had to play because no matter how many times you spin the ball on your finger, the ball still got to go through the hoop. And so it was basically what they looked for was your basketball skills. They look for, what do you bring special? What you can bring special to the team. We had guys from Memphis like Michael Wilson. Wild thing was in Guinness Book of World Records, dunking 12-4 at the time. We had guys doing all kind of dunks and could fly all over the gym. And so, they used to jump so high they could freaking fly miles when they came down. So you had to bring something special. And my specialty was my personality, how I interact with the crowd and how I interact with people. And I had a pretty good half-court hook shot at the time that I had learned to do. But that was what I brought to the Globetrotters that they seen.
Okay, so how many years were you playing with the Harlem Globetrotters?
I played for 15 years.
15 years.
Yes, from 93. You wasn't probably even born then.
I
93. From 93 to 08.
Really? So from 93 to 08, how was your overall time being a Harlem Globetrotter?
On the scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10. I didn't like it, but it was good money, or?
No, I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. It was 100 on the scale of 1 to 10. I've been to 93 countries. Wow. I've been on almost every TV show from Oprah down to the Avery show. So I played basketball with President Mandela, Kings and Queens, anybody that you basically can name at that time. So for me, it was more than just a job. It wasn't a job for me. It was just something I did, something I grew up doing. I think the best part for me, and one of the most memorable, I had really two. Okay. First was playing in front of my grandmother for the first time. Oh. She was in a wheelchair, and we were in Dayton, Ohio at the Dayton Arena. And we was playing, I was, messing with the crowd, messing with people, and I was messing with her. She's crying and all that, and we playing. And after the game, she got more autographs than me. she was getting people to, she was, well, let me sign, can you sign? So that was one. The second was with President Mandela. To be we were in a room, we was in the palace, and we had our backs turned. We thought he was coming in from this angle. Okay. So, but you just felt some aura come over you. It's like, somebody's in here. And he came around the corner, and he spoke, and he was just nice. And I got good friends with his family. And we were the first professional team to play in the free and democratic South Africa. Wow. Yeah, so then we came back the next year, and it kind of changed my life, my perspective on how I deal with people. Fancy. I'm really still working on names. Okay. But if I see your face and I could tell you where we been with all of that. Yes. So the second time we came in, he came up, he spoke to everybody. He said, "How y'all doing?" Yeah, Showtime. How you doing? And I was like, wait a minute, did he just say Showtime? He just called my name. And it was funny because, somebody of that magnitude to remember your name and that you did something that put put a put your name in his memory bank for him to remember when he see you was very special to me. Especially for all the things he has done, and this his name is worldwide.
Yes.
You think of President Mandela, it's not really too many people that don't know him.
Right.
So to have that effect, that kind of made my game a lot easier when I met with people, and then I knew how to, like, that little bit to make everybody feel as special as possible at that time.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
So coming from the Harlem Globetrotters
Mm-hmm.
and moving into the Board of Trustees here at
Oh.
TWU, how was that?
Oh, let me go now. It's another honor that this basketball and sports has brought. I probably wouldn't have been here if I didn't the things that was accomplished in my life in that time. Being a part of the board, being a minority on the board, not only that it's an honor, but I know it's a manner that I got to hold up because we have young African Americans that are here that I know when we were here was not looked upon as much or asked what was going on or how do you feel or how being in a area that wasn't too much catered for African Americans at the time. I know that I have a responsibility to make sure that not only your needs as an African American, but needs of Hispanics, Asians, or any other minority that comes on this campus. And I think that in that I hold in a high regard.
Yes, yes. So how long have you been on the Board of Trustees here?
This has been I don't know. This is my third year.
Okay.
I'm going in probably my last year, and hopefully I can continue on for another term. That part of it, and that really is just it to be able to represent not only myself, my family, but what 10% of us on campus. It's great.
Yeah, so with all these accomplishments,
Mm-hmm.
you're still out here trying to accomplish more things. So I hear that you're trying to start a charter schools in East Tennessee. How did you conjure up the plan or even the thought of doing something like that?
Well, I just have to tell it how it is. And in '99, I woke up, not December in '99. I woke up and it was sports and education. I was like, sports and education, God, what are you talking about? Trying to put these things together. So I was still playing, traveling. So we put things, and it just finally manifested to now where I can be able to explain it, be able to know where it need to go. You have to put it on paper, and then not trying to get too religious or
Okay.
biblical, but in Habakkuk you put it on tables, and once they see it, they'll run. So it has to be real to you. So to answer your question, yes, it's a charter school to be the first of its kind in the nation. It's a team. It's called Teams Charter School for Sports Enthusiasts that we deal with the careers in sports,
Okay.
sports medicine, sports marketing, sports communication,
What?
the sports nutrition, things that society really doesn't show you what sports really are. And the acronym for teams is technology, engineering, athletics, mathematics, and science, where we're taking the concepts of STEM and viewing them through the lenses of athletics. So we're building that so once they get out of college, now everybody's not going to, WNBA or playing, they ain't have a professional volleyball team yet.
No.
So, so they're not going there, but what are you going to do afterwards? Because as you being a 3-time sports person, that's been embedded to you for all your life. So sports is just there. Now you're able to express yourself in the communications piece of it and still be in the sports world. So that's what we want to show them at a young age, to give them a avenue of saying, okay, if you want to be in sports, that's fine. Yes, everybody, the professional league is definitely somewhere where you want to go. But if you don't go, what happens?
Right.
What you do? What's your avenue? So we're presenting that. We also are having a part of a post-grad. We're going to have a post-grad school. That's basically the gap year of high school and college. If you didn't finish high school, or if you finish high school and you kind of in the between, like I might not be strong enough, or I might not have my ACTs, or I might not have enough grades, or I just need another year to mature. So we're filling those gaps also. And then on this campus, we're going to be able to host different sporting events. Yeah, we'll be able to host almost close to 18 to 20 different sporting events, or different sport types on the whole campus. So we're trying to do something and that brings on the economic development for the area that we're in. So a little bit, I try not to say too much yet.
Yes, that's fine. Yes, still
But
secret.
yeah, it's still supposed to be undercover. But I know
Yeah.
your show blows up, so it's out there a little bit.
Yes, well, that's great. That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on my show. I'm lost for words. That's so great what you want to do, because I don't think no one else has even thought to do that. That's y'all heard it right there. And y'all hear some more. I hope you guys tune in next Thursday on Bulldog Backfield, where I'm taking you back to the field.
Can I have one more thing though?
Yes.
Yes. When we finish it up and we can able to tell it, I want to come back on your show and really present it, so you can have the first right on it.
Yes, y'all heard that. So y'all definitely got to tune back in when he comes back. See you guys.
Peace.